Do we have any department head updates that need to be addressed during the work session outside of the regular council meeting? Okay. Let's go over the agenda for this evening. Who will be doing the invocation and pledge tonight?
Pastor Joe McNulty.
Thank you. Okay, we'll have consideration of the minutes from the previous meeting. We do have one individual who is requested to speak, but may or may not show up, so I'm prepared to address her if she does. We'll have our committee reports. Mayor is not here this evening, so we will not have a mayor's report. Unfinished business, we have the second reading of sanitation rate ordinance 2639. We have the second reading of 2640, which is the sewer rates, and then 2641, which is the water rates for the fiscal year 27. Are you two going to address either of those in your committee reports?
Yeah, I was just going to bring it up. I brought it last week. I'm in the last meeting. I was going to just bring it
Just
up again.
revisit it, okay. And then what about sanitation?
I mean, we explained it so in depth. I'm not prepared to, but I
Okay,
mean,
that's fine.
I can, I mean, it's
Yeah, I just
basically,
didn't want to
it
make
went down 42 cents for residential.
Yep.
And so, I don't think it's,
Not necessary? Okay, and then new business, item 26119, to award the CDBG grant application and administration services. Will we have that, Wes, will we have that resolution now?
It will be updated
Okay.
soon. It's not updated right now, it'll currently be blank.
Okay,
1 and 2 are being updated.
okay. And then resolution 26120 to award federal grant engineering and design services, and that'll be updated as well.
Yes, Madam President.
And then resolution 26121 to dissolve the Downtown Redevelopment Authority, which the authority themselves, they did vote to dissolve. So this is for us to take the next steps, and then that will be sent to the Secretary of State after this meeting. And then resolution 26122 to award the bid for precast manholes for the Logan Street improvements to Foley Products at $53,605.05. We have resolution 26123 to accept the ARC grant, which is 50/50 grant matching in the amount of $750,000 from ADECA to renovate the new Performing Arts Theater on Clark Street. Resolution 26124 to fix the cost of abating nuisance at 611 Cleveland Avenue Southwest and creating a weed lien.
Hey, I got a question, if you don't mind, Madam President.
Okay.
Hey, Blake, on our nuisance ordinances, I had a conversation with Willoughby since that was kind of his area. Do we have anything on the books that separates commercial businesses from private individuals? Okay. I was telling him, it seems to me there's, we've discussed a couple residential properties that are overgrown. Is there anything about any of the commercial businesses that are kind of abandoned or, otherwise suffering structural defects that could be a nuisance or a public safety hazard or a threat to people at this time?
Not that I'm aware of. We've had a few conversations with Brandon
I
Lewis.
was gonna say, I'd go to building, yeah, for a condemnation
Condemnation.
or whatever, yeah.
Okay.
We have to start with that. If it's anything structure related, we need to start with that department in order for us to further address it, or for the council to further address any of those properties, because the
Okay.
And,
All right.
and I know y'all been taking a look at our ordinances, so it might be something that we need to, for consistency, I know you're working on cleaning up some of those ordinances, but we may need to address commercial and get Brandon involved on that as well. Okay.
That's it. Thank you, Blake, I appreciate it.
I want to go back. Can I go back one to the 750,000?
Yep.
Is there a timeline of using that money? Are we? Is it in SharePoint?
No, I had some questions answered today, so
Okay.
I'll pull that up.
Is there a timeline tied to the grant?
Yeah,
Like,
so-
is the
yeah,
grant
see, I mean, like,
gotta
just for
spend it
instance, I
within-
remember like on Graham Street, we had to hurry and get that done or the money was gonna go away, you know, so. I'm sure that.
Let's see, the current timeline for design, bidding, and construction and opening the facility to the public is estimated completion of fall of 2027. Now, that doesn't answer the question if there's a
Right.
timeline on the grant, but that's the timeline estimated for completion. But of course, it's not gone out for bid yet, so we've got to take this step before we can do anything else.
I understand, okay.
Okay, any other items that I've already?
Will there be stipulations come after we vote on this? Is that what you're saying? We have to do this and then there might be stipulations on it?
Well, there'll be bids that'll go out, and then we'll have to accept bids.
I mean, as far as like time frame, again, you think there'll be,
I would think so. Wes, can't we put that in the bids?
Yes, Madam President. Typically, any of those ADECA funds that are appropriated for projects, they do have a timeline. You know, you have so long to use them. Now, you can't ask for an extension sometimes
Right.
based on the project, but I would think that would be something you would need to undertake in the next budget cycle to get started and, you know, hopefully get it done in a budget cycle, but it might carry into two. A lot of times, different projects we have that are grant-related. I mean, David could probably speak for that. It's not unusual for them to carry into two budget cycles.
And the ARC program is not as fixed as the CDBG program as far as eligibility for subsequent applications. It's not, the timeframe for construction would be dictated by your architect on that.
okay, thank you.
Right, anything else on that? And then we have Resolution 26-126 to enter into a one-year contract with the Alabama High School Athletic Association, and that is to continue the outdoor track and field competition for 1A, 2A, and 3A schools. And we did look at that weekend to make sure that we could house it, because the Omniplex will be hosting a Nike Elite, Pro Elite event that week. So there will be a lot of people in town. That's usually the first weekend of May, right?
Yes, Madam President, we met with Nathan, and that's going to be a difficult, it's going to be a very busy weekend in Cullman. We talked to the Athletic Association about the opportunity maybe to host other events in the future. So we're going to have a meeting with the Athletic Association, hopefully soon, me and Nathan, and go talk to them and see what other projects we could look at bidding on. Since they want to do a one-year extension, I think it's already in their calendar, so it's kind of, they'd like to see it here in Cullman one more year, which we're excited about that.
You talking about the Nike thing now?
No, the
we're talking about
state
the
track meet.
state
right
The
now.
state track meet.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the Nike tournament is the tournament that'll be going on at the same time. So I promise you, every room in Cullman will be booked up between the two. Maybe even some of our surrounding areas might be booked up as well. So,
Okay.
any other questions?
So this is just a one-year extension on the state track meet.
Seems like a lot of times it would fall on Strawberry Fest, and then we would have the
Yeah.
track meet, we'd have the 5K run, you'd have Strawberry Fest, and, you know, so it was a similar situation, except everything was sort of coordinated in this area, so at least with the Omniplex, that'll be spread out a little bit. Do what? Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
that's exactly right.
And sometimes soccer and softball. Yep. Okay, then Resolution 26-127 is to amend the tax abatement for Project Panel, and I will, when we get to that, I'll read some descriptions about why that has to happen. So I've got that information before we take that vote. Then ordinance 2644 is to issue the SRF loan in the amount of $5,090,000 at a fixed rate of 2.2% for 20 years to replace the 30-inch primary transition pipeline. So that will be just to issue the SRF loan, correct?
Yes, David can probably talk a lot more about the project, but this will be two-phased as far as the financing goes. So we'll have this ordinance passing this SRF loan, and then there'll be another SRF loan for the completion of the project, because the project's estimated over $10 million. But this is the primary line that's coming out of the water treatment plant, and maybe original line. Am I wrong in saying that?
1966.
Chris is here too, so you got all the experts if you want to ask them about the
Yep.
project.
I
But the,
think when we get to that, Chris, could maybe you address the current maintenance on the line? And then the need for the new line, and then David, any other details that might need to be included? When we get to that, could y'all elaborate on that project?
That's what I was gonna do in my report. I was gonna
Okay.
get them to do that in my report. I was gonna get them to talk about it.
Okay, all right, sounds good.
and,
Perfect.
and we just spread the financing out over two different bond issue, or SRF loans, because it'll save us interest. There's no reason for us to pay interest on that money that we don't need right now. So that was the idea, two loans.
Okay. And when will this start?
Construction? Well, closure on this initial funding essentially starts the clock on design.
Okay,
So now we can really dive into surveying services and design. So target would be bids in the first quarter of 2027.
okay.
How did we come up to that number there of 5,090,000?
So this is 50% of the total requested funding based on our preliminary construction estimate.
So when the bids come in, it could go up or down?
Certainly.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Anything else on that? Okay. The only other thing I have for the work session is just a reminder that on Wednesday and Thursday of next week, we'll have our budget meetings or updates with department heads. And if you have not had the opportunity to meet with your department heads for your committee assignments, please do that ahead of time. I'm hoping that that's going to speed up the process, so maybe we've already asked some questions. I've been trying to conduct those meetings and get those questions answered ahead of time, so hopefully it'll go smooth on those couple of days. All right.
Do you see a problem? So I've met with half and half. I've spent some time with Wes last week on, and we went down line by line, and I know what's going on. Are you seeing any reason for me to go back to just say like Sam, and no, just as long as I'm
As long
familiar with
as
what's going on?
You know what they're
Basically? Okay.
asking,
All right.
and you have the background for it, and
Okay,
so I just think that'll help our conversations. If-
I agree.
If one of us already has had the opportunity to ask some questions.
Sure.
So I've met with technology, and it helped me, Jacob, to go ahead and meet with you, because when I've met with other departments, I say, well, I see here you're getting a new desktop computer, and that's going to come out of your budget, and Jacob's going to enter it. So, just some of that crossover work too. Yep. Okay.
Good.
Anything else?
Hey, Joey, can I get you
Yep.
for a second?
All right, we'll start back.
I got an email from Taylor England